to the Kev and Chris Show, where we talk about music, video games, sports, and whatever we feel like talking about. I'm your host, Kevin Miracle, and this is...
Chris Rorty. Thank you very much for joining us.
So, dude, how's it going?
It's quite well. How about you, Kev?
I've been all right, man. What's been on this week?
I'll tell you this. I want to thank you for inviting me to your show, thinking of me to join you, and handling basically all the technical aspects of it because you're a professional, and that works out well for me. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Right. So what's going on, man?
I was thinking about how much I don't like condoms. It's not that I don't like using them. It's that I don't like, it's not like I don't like the results they provide. They are effective. But boy, we're in the future now, and it seems like they could come up with something that doesn't affect the experience so much. What do you think?
I think that I had a vasectomy 20 years ago, and I don't give a fuck.
Wow, this is just my subject then. I guess I'll provide the input from my end. You don't have to worry about this at all.
I can go from memory. Yeah, condoms suck.
Oh, man. It's interesting that the very thing that I don't like about them, it's not the very thing, it is discomfort, but it also has been the thing that's probably allowed me not to have children I didn't want with the wrong person. So it probably saved my life entirely and completely, and yet I'm complaining about them.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. My first and only child was because we weren't wearing a condom. But I tell you what, that ended up being the best thing that really ever happened because my daughter's absolutely amazing.
I agree, and I think the fact that not only is she awesome, but you still get along with your ex-wife, and you guys still have a family, and you communicate, and you're respectful. I mean, you really can't ask for more than that. So that's great. I agree.
Cool. They could probably make condoms out of transparent aluminum.
Transparent aluminum, you say? My goodness, that sounds ridiculous.
It's something that I just learned about. I don't know a lot about it, but yeah. Remember Star Trek?
I think I do. Was that with Skywalker?
Computer.
and the Vader? Is that?
No, Star Trek, not Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Not starting wars. Star Wars. Star Trek.
Oh! That's obviously a joke. We're both very large science fiction fans, Star Trek and Star Wars. But yes, carry on.
So anyway, now it's an absolute reality. Transparent aluminum. I guess it's too expensive right now to actually put in the public's hands. But think about that, dude. Your phones. How many freaking phones have people busted because it's just Gorilla Glass? It's not tough at all. It breaks all the freaking time. I've bought my girlfriend 10 million phones because it breaks her glass. But think about that, though. If it's transparent aluminum, it would never break. It's actual metal. It's not glass.
It's brilliant. I'm a giant fan. When we saw it in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, and Scotty was talking to the engineer about it, building a whale fish tank inside of a Klingon bird of prey to fly it back to the future. I mean, that's obvious. Everybody would think about that. So that's how that played out. And you're thinking, oh, what a cool time it would be to have something so strong that would be so thin and light. And sure enough, 2019, maybe 2018, you said it was about a year old?
It was about a year old I found it, yeah.
And they're mixing, what, 3 elements? Aluminum, nitrogen, and oxygen.
Yeah.
That's what they, in a powder.
Yeah, in powder form, yeah.
Then superheating it.
Yep, to 2,000 degrees.
And then polishing it to the point where it's transparent.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
And it doesn't chip like glass.
No.
And it doesn't scratch like glass.
No.
You could use this for the presidential motorcade, spacecraft.
What about all of our military guys?
Of course. Dress this guy up in a completely transparent suit. He's naked, but it doesn't matter because he's also bulletproof.
We couldn't fucking move. It was on him like that, He's like, couldn't fire his gun. You think they could have him like this all the time?
You'd have to stay like that, right? Unless they put transparent aluminum,
right,
movable parts and ball and sockets.
I'm sure it would be just for vests, in the back. Maybe probably put little shields in their legs. Maybe, I don't know. That would just be a thing. And then another thing too for outer space. We got people. Elon Musk right now. The guy is amazing. I don't know what your thoughts are on Elon Musk, but I think he's an absolute genius. And I think he's probably one of the only people that is forward thinking to the future right now, or that I can tell.
Well, he's certainly popular, and he's certainly one of the most popular people that we hear of that's forward-thinking. And, I mean, that's what we need, right? That's what's going to allow private space flight and all the next advancements. We need private companies, forward-thinking. The tubes, though, he was 100% positive that he was going to build a tube system throughout the entire country that was powered by magnets and air pressure to replace cars.
For the Boring Company, yeah.
And, I think it's a great idea. I don't want to give my car up. I like my car.
Well, you'll still be in your car.
No, these were tubes.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, I do know what you're talking about. That's the transit system. That's like a transit system, though. And instead of flying, you're actually in a tube. So yes, you're right. You'd give up the car, but you fly. So instead of flying, you'd be in the tubes.
Hauling ass, which is great. I like that.
That's great.
But I don't have control. I want to go.
You don't have control in an airplane.
I want to go somewhere else.
You don't have control in an airplane. So it's a destination thing. Detroit, California, or
I like
or
the
whatever.
long distance stuff.
Or whatever. Detroit to Chicago. I think I just read that he was gonna do. Oh shoot, I can't remember what.
Well, he was gonna do like L.A. to San Francisco. But to me, it's like.
But I thought that was for his cars. Going underground, where they take the car, they drop down inside it. That's for that one.
And they put a car in a tube.
Yeah.
Send that's short range.
Yes.
I like that
that's
too.
That's different.
You got to do a lot of digging to put those tubes everywhere.
Well, that's where he came up with the Boring Company. Did you see that?
No, it sounds exciting. Versus
I know boring. Exactly.
Oh, you mean?
Oh, no, right. So, anyways, it's called the Boring Company. If you don't know what it is.
No.
And so he created this company where it is called the Boring Company, and he said that he's come up with a percentage, 20% faster, 50% faster, whatever it is, that drills the holes underground, let's say 50 times faster, 50% faster.
Just a big machine.
Yep, it's a big machine, and then it drills the holes, of course, for either, for his cars that go underground. So the whole idea of it was he hates going through LA traffic. He hates it. So he come up with this idea to take the cars, instead of having on top of ground, and everybody back to back, put them underground, and they travel up to like 70 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, and they're on some kind of system. He tested it out a few weeks ago, and it looked good. It's still super, super early. And then also what I've heard is that I guess a lot of people was throwing fits about him drilling underneath LA. So they've completely canceled that. Chicago seems to be on board with it, though.
Well, the fellow citizens of each city must be very familiar with the geological makeup of the rock struck formations underneath cities, and that's why their concerns are there. Obviously people in Chicago know that a stable limestone granite base is... Oh, wait, it's probably not the reason why they have a problem with it?
No.
Oh,
no,
I wonder if it's no real reason at all.
Probably. But anyways, they canceled it, so he pulled I don't even know if they had a contract with LA or not, but bottom line is that they canceled it and is no more. But Elon Musk and I know we kind of got off subject here, but I was thinking as far as the transparent aluminum, being on the ships that's going to take people from Earth to Mars, eventually.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that. I think that's awesome. Some people, like my girlfriend, think that's crazy. She would
the trip to Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly risky. It's very ballsy, but it's the next step of human advancement, which really makes it the only thing.
Well, I think what's important about it right now is the fact that we're using up Earth's resources. We're growing population as a human race. We're living longer. These all come into play when you're living on a planet, when you're using every single resource it has. You have got to plan for the future. What if you don't? You use up all resources and you're going, guess we die now.
Yeah. Like the human race, does it deserve to go to the next level? Are we behaving the way we should to deserve it? Well, at least we know that we have to get off the planet and expand to preserve it, so that's great. I just hope we're worthy of it.
Well, I'm damn worthy of it.
Well, I'll be worthy if they put transparent aluminum on the craft, but now that I know that it's available and they put me in the craft and I go, are these transparent aluminum windows, Captain? And he goes, no, those are the old plexiglass. It's very safe. We've been using it for years. And I'll go, I just saw a video, Captain, that it was $25. It was $5 a square inch of plexiglass, or $10 to $15 a square inch of transparent aluminum. If you're sending me to Mars and you're trying to save $10 a square inch on that trip, I'm not going.
Right.
Because this seems more important than saving a little bit of money on the window. And the captain's going to go, get this guy out of here. This guy's stopping the whole process. Get security. And
right.
So that's how that would play out. But
today at the International Space Station, Chris Rorty was taken off the flight due to window issues.
Right. He didn't like... Now, we don't know if he couldn't have a good view out of his window. We didn't know if he was unhappy with the meal selection. Wow, that was completely misunderstood.
Oh, wait. He couldn't have his pet on board. His peacock.
They wouldn't let him bring a peacock or a cannabis oil pen onto the spacecraft for the trip to... And now, it sounds crazy, but if you want to put a bunch of sober people with nothing else to do but stay sober in a small compressurized box for 6 months and expect it to work out, or maybe allow them to relax a little bit and hit their cannabis and maybe have a little drink of something.
Just drop
loosen up.
Just drop the CBD oils, dude.
That's fine.
That's completely legal. There's no THC in that.
I also truly believe that space is
the final frontier.
It is the final frontier. These are the voyages.
Right.
But I'm sorry, but once I'm out of the solar system, not a solar system, once I'm out of Earth's atmosphere, I really don't want anybody telling me I can't do something, because where the heck are they? Are they going to pull me over?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Send a police officer to ticket me? I'm on Mars. So I'm doing what I want.
You're quarantined to the engine room.
Right. Put him in the cargo hold for the rest of the trip. You know, maybe smoking only in the cargo hold.
Oh, right.
To no smoking
Well, you
section.
can vape it.
Yeah.
There's no smoke. That's no smoke. That's just vaping.
It's just vaping. Or eat some edibles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you get some brownies.
Yeah. I know those Russians have been drinking vodka.
Vodka.
Up in that thing since day one. You think they're not?
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing they got.
What was that?
Sorry, Russians. I didn't mean... No.
No disrespect. We like it. We're on board.
We do.
It's just like the movie with Sandra Bullock. What the heck was the name of that movie? Gravity. What? And remember, the Russians hid vodka under the seats. So it's not out of the realm. It's fine.
I mean, you already made it to space. You're not allowed to have a little drink to celebrate that you're alive in outer space. The vacuum of the entire universe, and you're floating around. That's the only time you should have a drink, if you ask me.
Oh, wait. It's the only time.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to anybody who's been in space, about to go to space, or
wants to go to space.
Wants to. I mean, that's what it is. Folks, look around outside. Your Earth is what it is. You've already seen almost all of it. It's time to go to space.
Cheers.
Cheers. There's no Taco Bells on Mars. There's no internet, no Xbox, no Facebook.
I don't know if I could go without an Xbox, dude.
Right. I mean, you could play games that are saved on your Xbox with a generator and a TV and an Xbox. So you can still play your hard drive stuff, which is okay. I accept that. But
right.
I need a big screen.
What are you playing these days?
I play a little NHL 19 night times with my friend Mike.
Okay.
And I am playing Anthem still.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
Oh, it's disappointing to you that I'm enjoying myself?
Yeah. You like it?
I actually haven't played it a lot, so I can see burning out on it.
Yeah.
But when I do play it, I do like it because, I mean, for example, just yesterday, I was playing a mission that was not supposed to be played with one person, I'm pretty sure, because it was almost impossible.
Stupid hard.
It was stupid hard. I mean, it was 300 guys attacking you at once. What are you going to do? You got to run way far away. You got to start sniping and wear them down. You don't know if they're just going to keep respawning. But I was able to switch characters, switch my setup, try different strategies, and I got past it. But it's just gorgeous. Like you said before, it was repetitive, but sometimes I'll just land from flying and the light will hit my suit and the way I set up the color scheme.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I think I'm not appreciating how good the game looks. And the action's good too.
I mean, I think it looks great, but for me, I don't. There is a point of great graphics compared to this is boring the shit out of me because it's so repetitive. That's where I get hung up on it. So yeah, the initial, ooh, that looks great. Ooh, I can fly. I am Iron Man. Went from that to like, God, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again, and just got too boring and repetitive for me. But I know there's probably thousands of people out there that would argue with me.
I mean, it is repetitive. There's no question. Just go to the base, get a mission, do the mission, unlock gear, set your guy up, do it again.
Yeah. You know what I've been
I
playing?
still think there's got to be more to it, though. There's got to be, like Destiny had, those raids where you had to get a 5-man team because you couldn't even get past the first room without 5 guys.
Again, repetitive. Destiny was not a good comparison for me because I feel the same way about Destiny. The Destiny 2, I think, got a little bit better. I like the campaign a little bit better. But again, so repetitive, doing the same thing over again. And it just...
Did you play the raids, though?
Well, yeah. Where you had to have so many people against whoever you were fighting.
But it wasn't a strike. It wasn't those things where you could just go and do a mission and fight a boss, and that's how it is. You can access any time. Raids were like legendary raids where you can only get this gear from beating this thing, and it's 3 hours. It's 2.5, 3 hours of fighting a boss, and then you had to figure out how to win. You couldn't just, it wasn't just guns blazing.
Right.
There was a lot. It was like a completely different game.
A strategy to taking him down. I probably didn't get that far because I got so bored with everything else.
Everything else was repetitive. I mean, it was.
That was the only thing that kept me from going deeper. I enjoyed the graphics. I enjoyed the campaign. Number 2 was good. The campaign in 1 I thought was relatively short, but I really like the whole realm of things, like the characters.
Destiny 2 you're talking about?
Yeah, Destiny 2. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a sequel, obviously, so it all comes from original storyline. I like the storyline. Bottom line, I do like the storyline. Maybe, like you said a little while ago, we like sci-fi, so maybe that's just part of it. But again, maybe I didn't get as far deep in as I should have, but I couldn't get past it.
It was repetitive, and once you build it's really a game of building your character, right? Getting guns, adjusting your powers, adjusting your guns, fine-tuning shit. It seems like they put more focus on that than content, because you can whip through all the missions. There's, 20 missions, 25, and you're done with the campaign.
Yeah. You know what irritated the crap out of me about the gameplay? It's from the original Halo creators, right? So the people who created the original Halo is the creators of Destiny. After Halo, the original Halo, the guns in the game got to be so big I couldn't see what was in front of me because the damn gun was so freaking big. I hated that. I stopped playing Halo 2 because I couldn't see where I wanted to go because my gun was all in my face. I hated that.
Did you say that the whole viewpoint was also too narrowed?
Yeah, too narrow. I hated it. It was like, instead of having your field of vision out, instead of being way back here where our peripherals are, it was way up here. So I felt like I was in this tunnel, and I hated it. I hated it.
You didn't like it, folks.
No, I hated it. I didn't even finish Halo 2. Now, because I love the Halo universe, I went back to Halo 3, 4, and 5. I did play those. I did beat them. I did like them. Because of the stories, because of the universe, I really dig that. And I can't wait till the Halo movies come out. But that number 2, I never finished. I never finished 2.
That was Xbox, regular Xbox.
That
right?
was the original Xbox, correct?
I never played Halo 2. No. I know what you mean. I think you showed it to me once.
Yeah, I couldn't stand it. But I have been playing Crackdown 3 lately. I don't know if you guys have it or if you know about it, but the Xbox Pass. You know what that is? Where you pay X amount of money per month, and then you have roughly 100 or more games at your disposal. Whatever you want to play, you can play those games as much as you want for the entire month. So Xbox had a deal. It was $1 for 30 days. So I downloaded everything that I wanted to play. I completely emptied out my hard drive, and I downloaded Crack House 3.
Cracked out.
I downloaded some crack.
Crack House 3.
Crack House.
Who plays Crack House 1 and 2?
Crackdown. Crack House. That's what I said. Crackdown 3. What the heck's it called? I'm drawing a blank.
I saw you playing it too a couple nights ago. I'm like, what's that?
Strange Brigade. The Strange Brigade. I downloaded that. That's pretty cool. Have you played Strange Brigade?
No, I wanted to ask you what that was.
That was pretty cool. So basically, you're kind of like an Indiana Jones type of thing. You can play it with your friends. Then you'll have 4 different characters, and you can all play at the same time. You have a bunch of dead skeletons running at you. You have mummies running at you. Your guns are pretty basic. You know, you got your shotguns, you got your repeaters, you got your handguns. You have some grenades. And they treated it like it was an old, 40s movie. The Strange Brigade.
Alone or together? Oh, cracky mummies! Never a moment's peace when you're a globe-trotting adventurer. How will the Strange Brigade ever get out of this?
It was pretty fun.
Okay.
I went through the whole campaign by myself. What I didn't like is that you didn't have. So there's 4 characters that you can play, and I assumed that once you picked one, the other 3 would just accompany you in the game. They don't. That was disappointing. So you picked whichever character you wanted, and then you ran. But if you were to play with 4 friends or 3 friends, then each of you would get a different character, and you run through the campaign and play it like that.
It's like those zombie games.
Yeah, like the new one that I want to play. What did I say? Was Z Nation? Was it Z Nation?
I think so.
But anyway, so it was a fun game. It has some comical, things to it. The gameplay was good. It was, I would call, classic, third-person shooter, classic.
And it's skeletons or zombies?
Skeletons.
It's skeletons.
Yeah, because you're playing with kind of like the old
Halloween stuff.
Yeah, we got
Werewolf.
no werewolves.
Frankenstein.
No,
Dracula.
it didn't go there. No, it didn't go there. It just stuck to mummies and skeletons.
Mummies and skeletons. Okay.
Yeah, that's all it really stuck to.
Bosses. There's bosses.
Yep, there's bosses in it, of course. But it was good. I enjoyed that one. But I ran through it pretty quick. I don't know how many hours I spent on it, but I do think that's a good one to run on. I enjoyed that. But Crackdown 3, I've been playing that, and that is also pretty repetitive.
Yeah.
It's kind of along the Assassin's Creed vein. Climb this tower, do this, shoot these people. They throw a couple different things in there, like racing. Like you can race and earn bronze, silver, or gold for timed events. So it's a mini game inside of the large spectrum of the game, and of course there's a story to it. And what's cool is you get to play as Terry
Crews.
Terry Crews. You get to play as Terry Crews.
Oh, really? I was joking. Really?
Yeah.
Terry Crews
You can play as
with
Terry.
the pecs?
Yeah, the pecs. The pectoral
The guy who gets
right.
got molested by another man because his wife told him to?
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, now we got some more content.
I don't even know. If you know something about that, put that in the comments in below, because I have no idea.
Sorry, Terry. I hope you don't become a big. Well, I hope you do become a big fan. But what I understand, the story was that Terry Crews is acting in a movie, and one of these. And I apologize because my facts are just what I remember, which I do not claim to be gospel in any way. So he was acting in a movie. One of the directors or something brushed his balls or his dick, and then it almost made a comment like, "Oh," or like an uncomfortable comment about it. And Terry didn't say anything the first time, and he was upset. He didn't say anything, right? He was holding it inside. Then it happened again, and Terry still didn't say anything. But then, according to Terry Crews' testimony before, yes, that's right, he was in front of some jury in some court, right? He took it all the way to the court, and he told him that it was because his wife told him to come out and say something about it is why he was now saying that he was sexually harassed and he was pressing charges.
I think I do remember hearing something.
Terry Crews, the biggest, baddest dude you'll almost ever meet, and he's also cool and funny.
I love the guy. I think he's hilarious. I'll be honest with you. I didn't like his. What commercials was he was
Old
doing?
Spice.
Old Spice. I hated those
He doesn't
commercials.
like the Old Spice.
I hated the
He
Old
doesn't like
Spice
Anthem.
commercials. But I love 9-9.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, I freaking love that.
Yeah.
I love 9-9. Do you watch it?
I don't, but I've seen it a few times. I like it. Everybody tells me to watch it, and it's just a matter of time. I've been busy, but I will watch it. I know it's good. Sandberg's hilarious. I think that guy's great. So
Andy Sandberg's fantastic. Hey, Andy, you were freaking great.
Yes. Great job, Andy. I really have no complaints about your career at all. And Terry Crews is great. I just would tell you this, that if a man brushes against my dick and I don't like it, I'm going to say, do you mind not brushing against my dick? I don't fucking like it.
Right.
You know, you don't have to attack the person or kill him. You probably don't have to go to court over it either. But, hey, it's not my place. You're the one who got your dick touched twice.
You want to hear a true story?
Sure.
I'm 18 years old working at Kroger. True story. I'm working at Kroger. The manager had this horrible habit.
I already know, but I already know where you're going. I got a feeling. Go ahead, though. This would be great.
What he would do. And now, mind you, I'm 18 years old, and he's, I don't know, 40s. I have
And you're
no
a pretty
idea.
good-looking guy.
Well, thanks. That doesn't make the story better.
It's a fact. Probably part of it.
Well, he would come up to it, and this is multiple people have said this. He'd stand right next to you, and he'd take his fist and knock you in the balls.
I mean, the backhand to the nuts, to the tip, is a funny thing, a nut check to your good friend every once in a great while. Not a boss employee thing, and certainly not somebody who's not close to you.
I hated the guy.
Oh.
Of course, he's your boss. You're 18 years old. You hate the world, right?
And now this guy's got to smack my...
And he's hitting me in the nuts as I'm standing. Mind you, this isn't like, standing in the back room or in the lunchroom. I'm bagging people's groceries. And he comes up, whacks me in the nuts. I turn to him like this.
Right.
And he says, if you want to do something about it, let's step outside.
Oh. Oh, God.
If you don't, go back in the bottle room. Back in the day, before you were born, I'm sure.
I'm only 12 years old.
We had to take the bottles and put them in a cart. We would count them, give you a receipt of how many bottles I counted.
A handwritten one?
No, we typed it.
Oh.
It was,
I didn't know if there was any
machines
that could create
yeah.
numbers without writing.
Right, we had to create labels anyway. And then you would take that to he's an ass. And we'd take that to the register and they would give you, your whole $1.50 if you had 15 cans.
Ah.
And then we would take them in the back and we would sort them. Pepsi, Coke, 7-Up, Mellow Yellow, Mountain Dew, and then we would fill them up in huge bags and then we would throw them. I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. We had bags of 2-liter bottles and cans in a huge warehouse from the floor to the ceiling. And then the Pepsi guys and the Coke guys would come in and then they'd take them on their routes and take them back. And that's how you did it back in the day. But the whole story is about this dude knocking me in the nuts.
How many times did he do it?
He only did it twice before I threatened to punch him in the face.
Now, do you think he was doing this bro thing, or do you think he was a little bit gay and he wanted to see if he can get a touch on a dude?
Because I didn't like him, I'm going to go with the gay dude thing. I don't know. If I liked him, I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to be cool, but hitting me in the nuts to me isn't cool.
Not when you're in the middle of working and you're not my best friend. Like, again, if you're my buddy, and you want to just screw around, hey, that's, whatever. As long as it, sometimes you get playing with your buddy, and you smack him and you hurt him real bad, and then you feel bad about it. It's like, boom! Then you guys don't talk for a while. But a boss is not always your buddy, and I don't think they should be playing with your penis. That's what I think. And again, I'm sorry, Terry. It's nothing, not to drag it out on you today, but Kevin got touched twice, and he moved on. He turned it into a cool story for his podcast. He didn't necessarily take it to a Supreme Court or wherever you went. So I don't even know how that played out.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember hearing about that with all these people coming out, the Me Too movement.
Right, he wanted to jump on that.
And I'm not trying to insult any women out there. it's different. I feel it's slightly different from a heterosexual male position.
I'd say it's very different.
I think so. You know, I mean, trust me. You know, the women that are going through that, that's crappy. I totally understand that, and I support your cause and everything. But as an 18-year-old boy, full of testosterone, some dude comes up and knocks me in the nuts, I'm just gonna crack you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to roll with it, dude. You know, you can't get. I mean, I'd hate to feel like I'm in a position to give advice to any girls because I'm not a girl. I don't know what they deal with.
No.
But I will say this: stop giving guys so many damn chances. Seems to me. Don't forget, you got 3.5 billion males on planet Earth. Once a guy does a few things you don't like, he's gone. He should be gone. Stop giving him third and fourth chances. You know, I mean, that's how these things get worse.
Well,
for you girls.
what about? I mean,
cut these clowns off.
Well, that's true, and I'm sure a lot of that is true. But the problem with it is that you have men in power, right? You know, it as bad as it is to say, it's still a man's world. You know, regardless of, I think it's getting better, but ultimately, you know, these girls want a part in, say, a movie.
It's a great point. It's different in business.
It is. It's completely different. Or even not even in a movie. Let's say they're at a corporation. You know, we've worked at large corporations. You know, and I know of one example. I won't say, of course, any names or what company, but it happened. You know, she slept with the dude hoping to get a better position, and she didn't get it.
And hopefully, at least the sex was enjoyable.
I mean,
think
so.
If you're not even getting anything out of that,
I don't think so.
That's a double, and that's just terrible.
Well, he had, what, 30 years on her? 25 years on her?
Yeah,
I don't think the sex was good.
No.
So, but anyways, on to lighter subjects. What's on our list?
Well, music. We haven't discussed music at all.
Oh, right. Music. So you were telling me earlier something about Creed.
Oh, geez. Well, you know, a lot of people dislike Creed, man. A lot of people give him a bad rap. And
only nowadays, though.
I remember 10, 15 years ago, people, right after their peak of popularity, I heard people just bagging on Creed. And I didn't really know why. I thought they had an original sound. I thought they sounded cool. Not every song was great, but a lot of the stuff was on the radio. And they did some slow stuff that I thought was pretty good, Arms Wide Open and all this stuff. But then they rocked some songs too, some heavy stuff.
Well, they got bagged on because a couple things. So then they started being called a Christian band. And then right off the bat, just because you're called a Christian band, now you suck because you're a Christian band. So the reason that they didn't like, or the reason that people had a problem after a while is that they were proclaimed to be a Christian band, right? And nobody came out and said that they were or were not a Christian band. I mean, part of the band. I know Scott Stapp, the lead singer, he started getting into like drugs and I think alcohol. I think he got the cops called on him for beating his wife. I'm not sure in what time spectrum that was from when the band's high, peak of popularity to when that happened. So, but yeah, I liked all of their albums except for the first album, which is of course what got them popular. And the only reason I didn't like it is because of the snare drum. The snare drum sounded like they were hitting a tin can. So I couldn't listen to it. It drove me crazy.
Even if you turned down the
if I EQ'd it, even if I EQ'd it, it still was. I hated it. It was just a tin can.
Because I remember Metallica always had that bass going whoa 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 when everything else sounded good, and theirs sounded like it was. And if you turn that bass down, it sounded okay. But if you didn't, it ruined the whole experience.
Yep, that's true too. The same thing happened with what's really goofy is on. Justice for All, and I was at home as a kid listening to this for the first time, and you're right, all I heard was this rumble, and of course I turned down the bass. But what's ironic about that is that everybody complains that Jason Newsted's bass was turned way down, so it was EQ'd with high bass, but they turned his bass down, so
that's probably what caused it.
So it was really goofy. It's kind of a weird thing, but I remember as a kid thinking that, not knowing anything about music or recording or anything, you just had this woo, 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 woo sound, and it was just goofy.
Now, why do you think Creed was considered a Christian rock band? Because of the name Creed? because that's kind of like there's a prayer, Apostles' Creed, and you know that
Assassin's Creed.
Right, Apollo Creed. Obviously, they took their name from the black boxer from Rocky, Carl Weathers, who's awesome, by the way.
I can't remember
Billy D.
why. There was something about the lyrics. I'd really have to stretch back to what their lyrics were, but they were wholesome, and they had like some kind of intertwined meanings behind them. But again, if it was, I thought it was intertwined so well that I really didn't notice. I enjoyed the music. I loved Tremonti. I thought his guitar playing was great. I thought Scott's vocals were powerful. As a singer, I really enjoyed the guy's vocals, and it was a shame, I thought, when they broke up.
Yeah, I agree. And just listening to music recently again, it's good. I thought it was cool to hear a band, and some of them were even some of the harder songs that had a subject of, it was simple, like a friendship subject. It was like a bro and loyalty and stuff. That was a subject of multiple of their songs.
Yeah.
It wasn't about heartbreak. It wasn't about anger. It wasn't about Satan.
Nope.
Because normally that's everything else.
Right.
They actually he wrote a song about his son, of course. He wrote a song about seeing friends he's never seen in a while.
Yep.
There's a song, he's singing, "Who's Got My Back Now?"
Yeah.
That song rocks. It's simple and it builds so good. And it's really just thinking about somebody having your back.
Yeah.
Nothing more complicated than that. You don't hear
maybe they looked
good music
into it
with stuff with lyrics like that.
No, you can. I mean, you can find it. I branched out on a whole bunch of different genres of music, but yeah, that was a great.
Oh man, that starts this album out. That's the Human Clay, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm like, this rocks.
Oh, I love that song.
I'm always speeding when that's playing. Yep. And that's just the Tremonti, that guitar, that it's dark and low.
Look at me when you shoot a bullet in my head.
Right.
In my head. Rock, dude.
And that's one note, right? Like we could even play that.
I think that was an open D. Yeah, I'd have to double check.
I'm pretty sure it was.
But he loved playing in open chords, and there was this really cool interview I watched with him that the style that he had was for open chords, and it was amazing. If I can find that, I'll put the link to it. But it was really good. But you know what? I tell you what I've been listening to lately, Rival Sons.
Great. Big fan.
Their newest album is honestly, I think it's the best they've ever done. I've liked all of their albums, but I didn't like all of their songs on all of their albums. I had to pick and choose. Pressure and Time I thought was ridiculously great. This new album, there's not a song on here I don't like. I freaking love it.
How many albums did they have?
6 or 7.
That's amazing. Because I thought they just came out like 2-3 years ago.
Oh God, no.
Because I just first heard of them a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they started playing the radio here.
Yeah. I don't remember why I heard of them. I'm a big fan of Led Zeppelin, and a lot of their songs have that. I won't say they sound like Led Zeppelin because they really don't, but they got that big drums, they got the killer guitar. The guitarist, he plays a Gibson Firebird. It's just amazing, the whole sound that they have, and the sound that he can get out of his guitar is amazing. I just love it. Good band, good rock.
I completely agree.
I don't think there's I can't say enough good things about Rival Sons.
I'm going to find my way to get my hands on all those albums and listen to them as soon as possible because I don't have any of their stuff.
I know a guy.
Oh, yeah? You got them all. You know what? You see that giant classic iPod I had in the car?
I
did.
could
bring it in and give it to you. I could wheel it in a cart.
Dude, he's got a classic Apple iPod.
Yes.
The original. I thought it was a brick.
It was holding my shirt down under my coat so it doesn't blow out the window when the windows are down.
It was sitting next to his bowling ball, I think. I thought it was a remote control to his bowling ball.
Oh, that would have been sweet. It would have been too big for that, though. I don't know, man. Once you have all these songs downloaded on your iPod and now all this new technology comes out.
Yeah.
Why would I mean, what more convenience could I have? I plug it in and I hit play.
Yeah.
Why do I need to change its transport unit? Or that would be the reasonable explanation. The actual explanation is that I'm lazy. That's it. It's that simple. Don't feel like changing anything new.
I have a little stick. Just a memory stick. That's this big. I stick it in my truck, and I got 10,000 songs at my fingertips.
Going to Mars, folks.
I'm going to Mars
Going
with
to Mars.
transparent aluminum.
I've got everything in this little thing I need to take to Mars. All of it. My food's in here. My blankets. My medicine. Well, maybe I could bring that iPod in, and you could plug me up to whatever you got, and we could put some music on.
Oh, but you know what I would recommend though is that you go and pay for it to be downloaded off of like
I don't think so.
your favorite service.
I'm still listening to all the other stuff you put on there. Still, there's a bunch I haven't even tried.
Is
so
that right?
Even if I don't like it, I got to get through that before I start buying new stuff. Since I know a professional who could access it probably for free.
I don't know. I pay for all of my music. On record, pay for all of my music.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Would you like any of this? Whiskey that's unlabeled and non-associated with any business?
You know what? A good friend of mine, his name is James, and he has a son.
Oh, man, he sounds nice.
I think he's Irish, but I believe he drinks a little bit of whiskey, too.
God bless those folks. James and his son, they do whatever they do it right, and we appreciate that here at the Kev and Chris Show.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Just a little to take the edge off. You don't need a lot, folks. Don't do too much. Too much of anything is bad.
Right.
We've learned that.
We don't advocate drinking. I mean, I advocate drinking water.
Yes. You need to stay healthy and alive.
Hydrated.
Sometimes when I think about on the space station when they turn their own urine into water, technically drinking your coworker's urine, obviously the toxins are out of there. But I wonder, as you drink it, if you look at them, does the taste, does it have, you're like, oh, well, I know what I'm drinking today. It's Susan's urine today. I wonder.
Susan, what were you drinking yesterday?
Right. Good Lord, Susan. Is that garlic? Did you eat up all the General Chow's chicken again? And now we're all stuck with the rice pilaf, Susan. That's the type of stuff you got to run into on these spacecraft, and that's what I'm worried about. But it'll work out.
It will work out. Here's one thing that I've come to the conclusion on. I like to do too many things.
Yeah.
I like to play guitar. I like to ride mountain bikes. I like to ride dirt bikes. I like to play video games.
Master of none.
Right.
Jack of all things.
Jack of all trades, master of none. I'm good at guitar. I could be way better.
I think you're really good at guitar.
I appreciate that. But the thing about it is I could be better.
Yeah.
But I want to do so many things. I want to ride my mountain bike. I want to play video games. I want to ride my dirt bike.
Do this podcast.
I want to do this show. There's so many things that I want to do. So does that make me what does that make a person like that? I could be so much better at guitar. But my mind thinks, what would it get me? What would it get me though? The cost is, okay, so I don't play as many video games. I don't do as many other things that I want to do. I solely focus on playing guitar. But at the age I am, I can't be a rock star no more. I mean, you could
put something together.
Well, I have
We're
put
still
stuff.
looking young. Yeah, you have.
I have put stuff together. I got a CD out, and I'll put that in the link too.
I've been playing a live show though.
But that's something I haven't done in a long time.
Me and you could sing, maybe with rhythm if you want. I do rhythm or lead. We'd have a bassist and a drummer.
Corey wants to play.
Well, then we have a lead. I can do rhythm. I'm happy to participate. Now all we need is a bass. Oh, you do bass. Can you do your bass and sing?
Yeah, I can play bass and sing. Sure.
Keeps it a little simpler.
Yep.
See, so all we need is a drummer.
Yeah, I have one.
I just met him.
Yeah, I just met him the other day. He's like so on board, and he just can't wait to play.
Dude, I'm dying. My option right now is go on Craigslist and start dealing with strangers, which is fine. But I've already spent 38 years filtering out people to you and a few other people on Earth.
Yeah.
So I don't want to start again.
No.
I'm sure they're great folks on Craigslist and want to play in the band.
Sure.
But I'd rather play with people I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's hard to find probably a really good singer who's not insane. And I know you can sing, and I know you're not insane. And as a guitar player, I think that's one of the things guitar players have struggled with is maybe you're a dream. No offense, Dream Theater. Maybe you're a Dream Theater and everything's perfect, and your singer's sane and a cool guy to work with. So the fact that maybe you don't love his singing all the time, it doesn't kick him out of the band.
Yeah.
Whereas, I think your voice would be great in a good hard rock band. Hell, we could cover anything we want.
Sure.
But you're easy to work with too, and for covering stuff, it's not going to be a lot of creative difficulties.
One thing I've learned, so you said you got 38 years on the planet. I've got 48 this year. So a couple months I'll be 48. It doesn't pay to be the arrogant snob of I'm going to sing and play whatever I want to play, whether you like it or not. That really got me nowhere, except for just a bad reputation of that guy. So as I've gotten older, of course, with age comes wisdom, and there's no bigger truth than that.
And patience.
And patience, yeah. So I've learned more so to go with the flow and just work with people instead of against people, and that's been helpful.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a different mindset, that's for sure. Let's say you're writing solo music. Obviously, you have full control. You do whatever you want. When there's others involved, you have to back off a little. And even if you have great ideas, great. You can implement them maybe in the next song, maybe in the next time.
Sure.
But everyone has, they deserve their space. They deserve to, if they're not as good as you, 'cause I know I'm not going to be as good as you or Corey or anybody. So.
And Corey's better than me.
Yeah, and there it is. And
as far as the guitarist is concerned.
When someone starts telling me, hey, Chris, you're not doing it right, instead of getting mad, I'll have to go, okay, well, can you tell me what I should do? And I'm happy to do it. Happy to learn it because I want to work as a team.
Sure. I tell you what, so just so people know, so Corey is one of my good friends. I've known him since I was like 17. Him and I put an album out in 2013. It's called River of Thorns. We did it all in this exact room, recorded it. I did all the vocals. He did, I don't know, I don't want to put an exact percentage on it, but he probably did 90%, maybe 95% of the guitars. And then we split the bass up, but I did all of the vocals on it. So if you want to check it out, I'll put the link below, River of Thorns. Let me know what you think. People told me I sound a little bit about like Lane Staley. I've been compared to James Hetfield of all people, which I don't get. But okay, guys, that does it for today. We appreciate you coming in and joining me and Chris. Hope that you found it entertaining, fun, and learned something today. Chris, anything to say, brother?
Thank you very much to our fans. Thank you very much to Kevin Miracle. And it's been a pleasure. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye, guys.